One of my favorites. This is somebody that I talk about quite a bit, and I think the world of him. He's very, very high in my personal rankings. But at number 16, we are at Pete Crow-Armstrong with the Chicago Cubs. He is 21 years old. He's 5'11", 184 pounds. He was drafted by the New York Mets in round 1, pick 19, out of Harvard Westlake, Los Angeles, California High School. As I stated, we've talked about Pete Crow-Armstrong in the past, so I'm going to jump straight into his 2023 stats. 2023 saw Pete Crow PCA. It's got to happen. Everybody has already started calling him that anyways. He doesn't have a name. He just has an abbreviation. PCA, seen AA stats and AAA stats. He had 438 at-bats, averaged 283, on base 365, slugged 511, on base plus slugging 876, 129 strikeouts, 46 walks, 20 bombs, 37 stolen bases, 26 doubles, and 7 triples. I know what I want to say, and I'm not even going to let you talk before I say go get him.
Okay, all right. All right, so let me be the wet towel then. So
Why?
PCA, well, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Let me start with the good. I have him ranked my 13th overall prospect, so it's not like I'm down on PCA. I'm high on PCA. That sounds like a drug, by the way. I'm not high on any drugs. I do have some beer in me.
He's a drug for me. I can't get enough.
You can't get enough. I love it. As you can tell, we're closing in on 2 hours on this sucker. So, cheers. Anyway, PCA is a great drug. I have him ranked number 13th overall, so I'm very high on him. But STS is quite a bit lower on him. As you can see, he's coming in at 16 overall. So I don't think that that's so much about PCA as it is about other players and adjustments that the model is making that favor them a little bit more. But even if you look at the projections, especially unregressed, they look pretty good for PCA all around. So I think some other players are benefiting from adjustments that put them higher than PCA, if I'm being frank. I just think it's signaling something to be cautious about, because if you have to pay top 10 prospect prices for him, that's where I would hesitate. That's where I'm pumping the brakes a little bit. But all that said, I think he is on the precipice of being a top 10 quality prospect. Was 21 years old, qualified as a 21-year-old last year, is still 21 years old, made the major leagues. Didn't have a glorious debut, but he didn't even get 20 plate appearances to show off what he can do. And throughout the season, he was hit for power, steals bases. He had 37 stolen bases, 20 home runs. Even STS has to acknowledge the power speed potential there. Let me just read his overall projected line, because I think it's pretty good. He projects for a slash of 250 batting average, 314 OBP, and a 409 slugging percentage with 18 home runs and 24 stolen bases. His counting numbers are pretty good. I think you want that on your team, especially by STS standards. So I think this is a really good, solid, all-around player. I just don't want to pay top 10 prices for him. Top 25? Yes.
I think he
debuts
this year.
Well, he debuted last year.
I think he starts this year.
He should start. He should start in the major leagues with the Cubs. Interestingly enough, we had Cubs back-to-back. We started this podcast with Orioles back-to-back. Yeah. But I think you'd agree with me that we both think that PCA is at least a tier, if not two, above Alcantara. So.
Oh yeah. And I think to be honest with you, I think he's a tier above maybe 7 of the next guys we're going to be talking about. But that's my personal rankings. That's not STS.
Yep. Well, and his major league sample wasn't great, so I mean that's factored in there too. That might have dropped him a little bit.
Hey, that only helps you go get him.
Possibly, yeah. And it works the other way too. Sometimes we see guys that come up and have fantastic debuts. You got a whole history of minor league stats in most cases. Don't ignore it. Ignore at your own peril. That's what I say.
For sure.